Welcome to Two Blondes and a Brunette, the show where we, Jillian, Izzy, and Lauren discuss all things entertainment, drama, and whatever else comes to mind.
Now either kick your feet up or keep your eyes on the road and let's talk.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
What's going on? So if you're new here, we are Two Blondes and a Brunette here every Tuesday from 10 to 11 here on WMCX. If you're currently looking at the time, it is 10:23, so we are a little delayed. We are having some production issues in terms of getting Izzy on the call with us. But as we posted on our Instagram, _Two Blondes and a Brunette _, we have a very special interview that we are going to be playing pretty much right now. So it is actually Izzy's aunt, and I would have her kind of
give her introduction.
Yeah, because she knows her aunt pretty well.
Yeah.
But she unfortunately cannot.
Yeah.
She's here with us, but she cannot be on air with us due to some technical difficulties. So, long story short, from what I know, is that she is kind of an interior designer, and she does some like organizing and stuff like that. So you'll get to know her better in the interview that Izzy is about to do that we're going to play. So yeah,
let's just get right into
That's
it.
pretty much all I got. So enjoy the interview, and we may or may not be back afterwards.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Izzy from WMCX Radio. Today I have here with me Barbara Culkin of Styling with Intention. If you want to say hi and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Barbara Culkin from Styling with Intention. I'm a mom of 2 boys and a new fur baby. So with Styling with Intention, I help people decorate, dress, and live with intention. So some of you may wonder what that means. So it means styling your space to reflect your personality and your lifestyle and to create a signature lifestyle for your decor, your fashion. Home decorating and styling is part of the work I do. And I also do professional and personal organizing, feng shui, and home staging.
Perfect. So can you share your experience on how you came to become an interior stylist and organizer?
So it's been a pretty long journey. I started out in the fashion industry in New York City, and I worked there for about 15 years or so. So I became familiar with fashion and design. And then the company that I worked for started moving into home accessories and home design. So they actually moved me more into that department because I had a real knack for it. And that was a big passion of mine. So what I found were the two were very connected. And over time, I also became very interested in a lot of well-being and wellness programs. And I found all of that was very intertwined together. So I found when you were in a peaceful and relaxed atmosphere, it really reflected, you could reflect that in your space and your style, the way you dress, the way you decorate, and just the way you kind of feel overall. So that's how styling with intention came into being.
Oh yeah, we all need more calm in our lives right now. So like you said, you do the consultations. Do you prefer doing them virtually or do you prefer face to face? And is it challenging more doing it virtual compared to in person?
Well, I actually do enjoy doing both. I do enjoy going into people's spaces. I feel when you go in um, personally into a space, I kind of feel what's going on in the space more so than when you do it virtually. But I feel like when you go into a space, I could kind of feel it when I walk into a space, kind of what's going on there, and I could see how it feels, especially if the person tells me that they want to change a specific life area or what they want some improvement in. I'll kind of check that area in the space and I could kind of be like, okay, I see you have that decor piece in that space, which we should probably move. So you could see a little bit more. Whereas online, you have to kind of hone in on it a little more. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have the people send me a lot of photos of their space and I will just kind of meditate on them and kind of imagine myself in that space, going in there and looking at it as if I was there in person. So it's a little extra step. I do enjoy doing it. Actually, during COVID, when everything was shut down, I couldn't really go into any people's spaces. So I pretty much had to do everything virtually. So now I just became a little more experienced at it. So that's how I kind of started doing it that way. I kind of felt a little more connected to the space using that method. But I actually do enjoy doing both.
Oh, okay, good. And how do you tailor the consultation experience for each individual person? Like what kind of things do you ask and to see and stuff?
So what I do is, I offer quite a bit of services. And when people are interested in doing work with me, I send them a questionnaire and they check in kind of what they want work on in their space. So let's say they want feng shui. They want feng shui in their space to create a better balance in their space. So they'll tell me what's going on in their life, what they want to change, what they want help with. And this way I could kind of zero in on that. So that's how I kind of tailor to each person. They tell me what they want help with or what they want improvements in their space. And we focus on that. I do offer a little bit of each of the work I do in every consultation I do, but we focus more so on what they specifically want to work on.
Oh, good. And for the people just who don't know, can you give a little brief explanation on what feng shui is and what it entails?
Yeah, so feng shui is creating a balance in your space. And you know, a lot of times people want to achieve that, but I have to say one of the first things I do in any of my work is clearing clutter.
Oh, big.
So a lot of times when you want a room makeover or create feng shui in your space, you just got to kind of clear out some of the clutter in your space to bring in some new things. So if people want more peace or more tranquility or just more focus in their life, um, I use a process called feng shui. And you could apply feng shui to any home, any room, an apartment, any place of business. I've done it for businesses as well. And some people don't know what feng shui is or what it's about. So it's the art of placement with colors and objects to create a positive flow of energy in your space so you get positive results in your life. So it's actually very cool. So let's say someone wants help maybe in their love life. And there's an area of every home, every apartment, no matter the size, you could be a shoebox apartment. It doesn't matter the size of the home. You go to that specific area, you make sure it's clean, and you could enhance that area with objects or colors to help amplify the energy to get that desire that you want. So it's actually a very cool process.
Oh, so are there any consequences then to having an unorganized home or like no feng shui in the space at all?
I mean, it's not really consequences. I always like to say that you could enhance it a little more. So let's say there's an area in your life that you're not too happy with, then you could make enhancements or take steps to change that. And it could start by having, I'm very visual, and I always feel that a visual direction or something to see of something that you want to achieve is a great motivator. So let's say you want something, like want to achieve something in your life, and there's an area also called, like, for example, helpful people and travel. So let's say you want to go on a vacation somewhere, and I don't know, let's say a tropical island. So if you put like a picture in a frame in that area with a tropical island, and you look at it all the time and you visualize yourself there and feel yourself being there, you actually create that, stir up that energy inside of you to make you feel like you want to go there. And certain steps will just start happening in your life that it will happen. It's actually very interesting, but it really does happen, or you're led to an opportunity that could take you there. So it enhances things in a great way. But if let's say you have a lot of clutter in that area, it just could be a very, very slow moving process. So it's kind of like if you say, I want to organize my space out and, I want better focus, but your desk is piling up with a ton of things. It's very hard to focus in on a project you're working on if your desk is covered with like papers and soda cans and this and that. It's better just to clear it out and then look at what you're focusing on. And then from there, you could take the steps to grow what you want to achieve.
Yeah, I need that. I want to go to a tropical island.
Put a picture there.
What is, do you have any of like challenging projects that you had that was like kind of stumped you a little bit, but you were able to work through it?
I have actually in New York City, I I had to go into a space that the space was not big, it was small, but I work with all different spaces, big, small. It's not really the size, but the person had a lot of animals, a lot in a very small space. So it was a little bit of a challenge to maneuver around the space with that, especially with what the man wanted to achieve in his life, because he just had animals everywhere, like everywhere.
What kind of
And
animals was it?
well, he had reptiles, he had
Oh my God.
birds, he had cats, he had dogs.
Oh no.
He had birds, like he had hamsters, he had everything. So there were like cages everywhere and litter boxes and dog crates, and it made it a little challenging. So I would say that was one of my most challenging projects, but we kind of I gave him some steps to take, and he did put them into place. And it was helpful for him, but it becomes a little challenging when it's something when it's something like that.
Yeah.
But animals do have a lot of energy, so that did stir up a lot of energy in his space, which in his case was a positive factor. So, so what he wanted to achieve actually kind of worked because there was a lot of movement. If you want to create more movement in your space, I suggest things like, which I do, going back to the feng shui thing I pointed out, but having something that creates movement, a picture of a waterfall or a wind chime, or let's say if you do have a pet, keeping your pet in that space so it stirs things up, creates some energy. So that was helpful for him, but the space itself was a little challenging, especially the kind of work he wanted to do in his space.
Yeah, it's a little too much.
Yeah.
Are there any specific types of like decor or symbols that you recommend to those who come to you looking for advice? And if you do have any, do they vary from person to person, or do you have like any general basic things you feel people should have?
Um, that's a very good question, because let's say you want to achieve something and you get a book on it in the library, and let's say there's something you want to achieve, whether that be more money or love or any kind of help with your work. And in a textbook, it'll say, on that subject, they'll say, well, put a picture of this here, or put a symbol of this here. And it might not do anything for you, because even though that book says to do that, it doesn't create a personal reaction in you. Like you don't feel inspired by it. So let's say you want, like before what we were speaking about, that you wanted to go to a tropical island for vacation, and instead you had a picture of like snowing and skiing. If you're not into that, it's not going to really do anything for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that was very interesting to me when I was doing my design training and feng shui training, someone actually brought a very interesting point and really turned around the way I did my work and my business, because I would do things by the book. Because he said, well, put this here, or do this here. And she pulled me aside and she goes, does that create any kind of reaction in you? Like, do you feel anything by that? And I said, well, no, not really. And she was very animated. She had a lot of personality, and she was a very over the top person. She goes, you have to feel it. You have to really feel it. And I was like, you know what? That's right. She goes, at that time, I said, well, I want to create like the right love relationship in my life. She goes, if you have a picture of this, like, does this give you anything? And I'm like, well, not really. She goes, what really makes you feel that? So I was like, huh. And I actually wrote about this story in a feature I was in a book. It was called Pearls of Wisdom a few years ago. And I wrote about the story and the importance of putting symbols of decor that make you feel a reaction or make you feel inspired. So my work is all about creating inspiration in your space. Because let's say you could have a different style of decorating and I could have a different style of decorating, but I always kind of hone in on the person's design style and we kind of put into play what they want to achieve or what they want to do with their space. And then from there, kind of attract things with decor symbols that they like. Because a lot of times I'll tell people, well, they're like, well, my style isn't really your style. I'm like, that's okay. It doesn't have to be. Let's say you like French country or traditional, and I like more of a beachy type of chic design. I don't decorate in my style for somebody. I do it the way they like it. A lot of people now like the farmhouse look. So I'll decorate for them in that look, but help them create symbols and design pictures or trinkets or something that helps them get motivated using their design style and with their personality.
Well, yeah, that's nice that you connect it to like their desires, that you're just not like, here's a picture of whatever, you know?
Yeah, I find that that doesn't really work.
Do you have like a targeted audience? And if so, do you like post on social media to make it aimed towards them? Or is it basically anybody that just reaches out looking for advice?
Um, I think my audience kind of started out targeted because a lot of times they say, what's your target audience? So I would say starting out, I would give, being a mom, I give a lot of moms organizing ideas and design ideas, decorating ideas. But over time, I found that it expanded into different areas, people that are younger, people that are much older. Um, when I do the social media, I would say a mentor of mine actually gave me a really good suggestion years ago. So he kind of said to me that post things that you're passionate about and inspired about, but blend some in with your personal life, but also your business life. So that's kind of what I do. I kind of blend in a little of both.
Oh, okay. So that's nice. Yes. And it's like fun and business at the same time.
Yeah. And inspirational too. So I like to do a little of those three.
And you said that you're, a mom, a wife. Is it hard balancing work life with family life at the same time?
It is. I mean, it is a challenge. I will say that. I would have to say one of the most challenging time was being a working mom and during the COVID when my kids were doing the remote learning from school. I would say like when they're in school and at their activities is my power time. So that was, I would say, a very challenging time. When they were babies, I kind of did it more during their nap time, but during that, like everyone was home together and we just had to really be creative with our time and our space and try to make it work. But it's a challenge for sure. But I think when you kind of find, I like to create systems for everything. So when you kind of create a system and you squeeze in time here and there where you could and make those blocks of time, you could, that's how I just kind of became very productive. It's because you have to be productive in a certain amount of time. So,
Oh, yeah. That's a tricky one there. Balancing.
yes.
Do you have any elements that you feel are important when creating a relaxed and engaged ambiance in the online community?
I guess so that people feel I like to have people feel comfortable and inspired when they come to my page. So, a great tip I got years ago, because I find with social media is some people have a huge following and some people don't have as much of as a huge following. And I remember a mentor of mine said, he goes, well, it's not really about the following. It's more so about the engagement. So let's say I could put up a post and I could say a person that does similar work to me could have a lot more on theirs. But what I found interesting is that sometimes, even though like you may not have like a ton of likes on a certain post, but you could get a very interesting result from a post. So if someone feels inspired by something that you post, and let's say I talk about something about clutter clearing, they're like, wow, I really need help with that, and they'll connect with me personally and contact me and say, listen, I saw your post on this. Do you have anything you could recommend? And I have freebies on my website that I give out for free, and I tell people just to kind of sample my work, and I tell them download one of these, which I have on my website. It's free stuff. And it's great because a lot of times I've gotten projects or clients from that. So sometimes I might not think it's not that much, but it's actually pretty significant.
Well, see, it's about the quality, not the quantity. There you go. Do you have any upcoming plans for expanding your business platform? I know you talked about maybe relaunching the old podcast or doing newsletters or videos. So do you have any plans on that?
Yes, I actually do. I think now with everything kind of normalizing, I've gotten some requests to do some in-person talks and in-person events locally, which I will definitely do this upcoming summer. And that actually is a good question because I've got a few questions for my podcast, which I loved doing. But I think I'm just going to reformat it a little just to help with the way I was doing it before was a little time consuming, and that got a little challenging over time. So I think I'm going to do now is I still keep up with my monthly newsletters that I do, but kind of create it more like a vlog, like a video blog,
Oh,
and post things that way and just kind of put it onto different channels so that I could kind of reach more audiences and reach more people, but through different avenues.
oh
So
yeah,
that's my upcoming projects.
well, we'll keep an eye out for that.
Yes, for sure.
Do you have anything that you like to do during the day or at the end of the day to de-stress from the work you've been doing?
I do. I really like to spend time outdoors. I like to be by the water. So I like to just like take a walk or be by the water. I really enjoy yoga. I feel like yoga is my de-stressor, my favorite type of de-stressor, and just a stretch and just kind of feel back connected to myself. So I would say that's my favorite way to kind of unwind and just take a walk outside or doing something outdoors.
See, that's relaxing.
And shopping too. I love
Oh,
that.
shopping's a big one, of course.
It's one of
And,
my favorite pastimes.
and if anyone is looking to learn more about you and your work, again, you could just name how we could find you, like the website, the podcast coming up, and newsletter.
Sure. So you can reach me at under Barbara Culkin, my name, Barbara Culkin, Culkin.com, or under my blog name, Styling with Intention. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Barbara Culkin, my name. And my podcast is Style Soul Podcast, which is going to have some exciting new developments. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
Perfect. We'll keep an eye out for that. And thank you again so much for coming on today.
You are very welcome. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Keep an eye out and have a great one.
All right, you guys. So that was our amazing interview with Izzy and her aunt, Barbara Culkin. So, Izzy, if you can hear me, can you tell me how the experience was? How was talking to your aunt? Was it fun? So much fun.
Yes. So now that I'm back and connected in on Zoom and can finally speak. So it was a good time. It was comfy because, it's like my aunt, but I never thought to ask her questions like this before. Like I always knew what she did, but like kind of like a baseline. So it was like really cool just to like hear how much like more there was to the like than to the surface that she actually is involved in. And it was cool. It was like, seeing like a different side of her, like the business side. So I liked it. I had a nice time. It was like really just like laid back and nice experience.
Right. I think it was pretty informative in terms of talking about like organizing and everything, because I don't know about all y'all, but I love those like organizing like TikToks and stuff. I just, even though I'm not the best at organizing, I love watching them. So hearing this interview from someone who's like a professional at doing it, I think was really, really interesting. I don't know about you guys, but
It was definitely fun.
so yeah, thanks Izzy for conducting that interview for us. We hope everyone enjoyed it. You can find, just to have some easy access, you guys can go on our Instagram and she's tagged in a picture if you want to get maybe a consultation from her, just learn more about her, anything you want. So, yeah. So if you guys are just tuning in, we're Two Blondes and a Brunette. We got about 10 minutes left here after that interview. So any updates on our lives, you guys? Anything fun happened this week that we've been gone?
I can share another roommate story if we want to dive into that.
Oh, yay. So fun.
Gotta
I can't
love
wait.
them. Okay, so the other day we have like a whiteboard in our kitchen, and Izzy and I were actually talking about this like one-on-one about how the whiteboard can cause chaos because people
Whiteboard slander is very real.
Yeah, because people tend to write stuff on there and not realize, like, people will see it. So I was just making dinner last night, and I don't know what made me look at it, but I also haven't been in the kitchen for a few days. But anyways, I look at the whiteboard, and we all have sections, and, it's towards the end of the semester now, so not everyone has stuff written, like, on their portion of the whiteboard. But I know I didn't have anything written, so my roommates decided to draw a boys' private part and write they wrote 2 letters that mean something that stands for like a very inappropriate word that I'm not going to say. But I was like, wow, aren't they so nice? Like, I live with the nicest people. And it was just so uncalled for. Like, didn't do anything to cause ruckus or chaos. Just drew that on my side and wrote a really lovely term that I knew what it meant. And then, I told my mom about it. And my mom basically told me, like, if they're going to have nothing nice to say, just erase the entire board.
Yeah.
So I erased the entire board, which is all of their scheduling and stuff. But I was like, you're going to draw that, like, under my name. Like, no, everyone gets their privileges taken away. But they also hid the markers from me, which had the eraser on it. Not that it was a big deal anyways, but, like, they went to the next step, so I couldn't erase it.
Yeah.
So I had to go to my room, because they also hid the paper towels, get paper towels, wipe it all off. And then it was 2 of their birthdays previously, and there was, like, balloons hanging from the stairs that have just been getting on my nerves, especially because they're for one of the girls who I especially despise. So I was like, you know what? It's not your birthday anymore. If you're going to, I knew it was her who drew it. So I was like, no, I was like, if you're going to draw that under my name, like, I'm taking your balloons down, I'm throwing them out, and, like, I'm done with this. Because they're also, like, in my walking way of the stairs. So I cut them off, and I just, like, pushed them into the garbage. And then this morning, I get a text saying,
Oh, boy.
hey, whoever threw the balloons out in the trash last night and didn't even pop them, make sure you take the trash outside to the cans, because it's not nice to leave trash so full like that for us to deal with in the morning. And I didn't respond. And I'm also not taking it out for them because I don't even use the trash downstairs. I literally, when I tell you, when I'm at my schoolhouse, I am in my room and I do not take a foot out of it. Like, I stay in there.
Yeah.
So, which is fine anyways, though, because I have the master bedroom, so I have, like, all my stuff that I would need in there anyways. But I was like, they're going to draw that under my name, and then they got upset that I put a balloon in the garbage when they could have just literally poked it and it would have floated out. I also didn't want to wake anyone, so I wasn't going to pop it.
Yeah.
I was trying to be respectful. Yeah.
Tea.
Yeah, so
That is
I need to be nicer, supposedly, even though I literally do nothing wrong.
Oy vey.
Yeah.
That is the
You
tea.
put
Tough
the
times in
balloon
Ireland.
It still had helium in it though, like a lot.
Barely. It was like it could float if you let it, but
Oh,
it also like couldn't at the same time, so it was kind of like in the middle ground of floating and not floating.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
oh, at least it wasn't like full.
I mean, at the end of the day though, like it's a balloon. Like does it really take
Yeah, I
that
feel
much
like it doesn't even
effort?
really matter.
Yeah. Like does it take that much effort to either pop it or just literally poke it out of the trash can and it'll just go fly away. But
God.
I don't know. I'm just really excited to move out of this house,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Felt that.
Yeah.
I have
Very
tea
much.
on being nice to people because, long story short, I work at a grocery store, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but grocery stores are in the process of banning plastic bags and all
Yeah.
bags in general.
Oh.
And, so people or companies, grocery stores are trying to promote the fact that you need to start bringing your own bags. At least in New Jersey, this is a thing. And so, again, I work at a grocery store, like in the front end, so I am personally impacted by this. And my advice is that it's not the workers' faults that they're banning plastic bags. This is a New Jersey thing. So don't take it out on your local grocery workers.
Yeah.
And if you are listening to this right now and you have done that and been rude to grocery workers,
Shame on you.
yeah, shame on you, because it's not our fault. It's the government's fault.
Well,
Take it up with them.
I had the same issue with straws. Like,
Yeah.
I worked at the coffee place, and every customer would come in and be like, where are your straws? And we'd be like, the town actually, like, banned them. Like, we could get a serious fine. Like, we can't give them out. Like, we don't even have any. You'd have to purchase one of the metal or,
Right.
like, the silicone ones. And they'd be like, oh, that's a shame. That's ridiculous. You don't go have straws here.
Yeah,
And I'm like, look, I didn't make the rule. Like, if I could give you a straw,
exactly.
I would, but I can't because I don't have one.
Exactly.
So don't yell at me.
So you get it. Like,
Yeah.
it's people can be so rude about that stuff,
Yeah.
and it's not our fault.
Mm-hmm.
So seriously, like, word of advice: don't be mean to people about that stuff because it's not our fault.
Scary.
And yeah, and people like they're cursing at you and everything, and I'm just standing there like, man, I get minimum wage.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Seriously, like it's just
Yeah.
not fair.
Agreed.
But yeah, anything else in our weeks? Izzy,
Um,
what happened with you?
Oh, my week. The roommate stuff is still kind of the one girl who doesn't like me had one of my other roommates ask me for my birth chart, just like my Virgo, like, sign. Like, not it's nothing like bad.
oh,
but-
that's so weird though.
Yeah, but she asks for my chart. I thought we were making a TikTok or something. It says like my friends rising, my friends descending. Just like I thought we were doing one of those. So I was like, all right. Then she takes my birth chart and then just like doesn't say anything back. So then I call her because I like have a strange feeling. And I'm like, what did you need that for? And she was like, I was just curious. And I was like, oh, but what are you gonna do with it? And she was like, well, I mean, I did give it to so and so, the girl who hates me. And I was like, why? Why would we
That's
do that?
kinda
And she was
terrifying.
yeah, and she was like, she got bored and made an Excel sheet with everybody's birth charts and wanted to cross-examine people. And I was like, why would you include me in that then? If you know that I don't enjoy her, she hates me. And she was like, oh, my bad. I didn't think about it that way. And I was like, oh. So then, we were beefing back and forth. We finally had like an hour-long talk of me just being like, I don't even want that girl to know what I had for lunch today, let alone my birth things.
Yeah,
so
really.
I don't want her knowing the time I was born and stuff. Thank you. It was like, could have been a fun moment, but not for me. So finally she was just like, okay, like I get it. I'm sorry. I'll like keep you guys separate now. And I was like, thank you. But wouldn't you be a little weirded out if the girl who didn't like you asked for your birth chart?
Absolutely.
Honestly, I'd probably be weirded out if someone just asked me that in general.
I was
Yeah,
like horrified.
So,
Yeah, and then it was like a little gaslight moment. She was like, well, what do you think we're gonna do with it? And I was like, I don't know, but I don't want to find out.
Yeah,
Just
really.
actually though.
yeah, I got out of the Excel sheet, thank God. I was like, take my name out of it, like literally. And then she finally went down and was like, can you get her name out? And I was like, delete the photo of it. Like, it's not like Bex, again, it's not like credit card information or anything, but like, still, it's just like,
It's so creepy.
uncomfy. Yeah, so that's why I was like, now I know. Just, you know, I unfollowed them on CoStar. So
Okay.
now they can't get nothing.
Pop
But
off.
it was just
Good.
a lot.
Good,
Yeah, not
good.
fun.
All
But-
right, you guys. Well, it's 11 o'clock. It is our time to depart. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed our interview with Izzy's aunt, Barbara Culkin. And we hope you guys got something out of it. Again, you guys can go on our Instagram to get some more information about her. Also, go vote on our poll, which we will be discussing next week. So yeah, on Instagram _2 blondes and a brunette.
We will also be having a guest on next week as well.
We will.
Yep.
Someone special, and we will be announcing that on our Instagram throughout
Yep.
the week. So be sure to look out for that.
Keep an eye out.
All right.
So yeah, we have
I
been
hope
two
everyone
blondes. Go ahead.
has a good day.
We've
Continue.
been two blondes and a brunette, and we will see you guys this time next week.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this week's edition of Two Blondes and a Brunette. We hope you loved it. Signing out, I'm Jillian.
I'm Izzy.
And I'm Lauren. Be sure to tune in again every Tuesday right here on WMCX from 10 to 11 a.m.